Hey there, and welcome back to my craft room. As you know, my name's Julianne Richards, and I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in southern Tasmania. Just let me catch up with my iPad here, or my phone. Had a bit of a traumas today. I probably shouldn't have tried to record these videos this afternoon, but after I'd finished the last one, I ended up having to go search for our dog, who decided to escape through the fence. She hadn't gone very far, and when she heard my voice, she came anyway. But yeah, it's just not a good afternoon for such things. Anyway, I'm just going to check my volume is working, and so I have actually had a couple of times. Yep, this volume seems to be working fine, so I'll just keep ploughing on. This is card number 2. Oh, I'll move that phone out of the way. You don't really want to see that. This is card number 2 of my it looks a bit crooked there, doesn't it? Card number 2 of my Artistically inked August 21 product class, and this is it reuses the designer series paper, which I must say is an absolute highlight of this suite. This one's got some lovely gold, which you can see in the light. There's one good thing about artificial light, you can definitely see all the bling. Some gold embossing on this designer series paper, and the lovely colours. There's a pale papaya, there's the magenta madness, and the polished pink, as well as the green. I think that uses a couple of greens. The mint macaron we've been using, and the shaded spruce as well. So anyway, let's get going before we, I was going to say lose the light, but we won't, because we've got the artificial light going. So this is our little card here. So in your kit, I'll move that out of the side. In your kit, you will have the card base, as usual, my normal size card base, and a piece of the beautiful designer series paper, and that's cut 1/4 of an inch smaller, so you've got a little bit more of a border than normal. Then we have another piece of the designer series paper, and this one's actually cut sort of just a strip of it, and it's 2 inches by 5 inches, and this is just another one of the design. It's got some lovely pale papaya on the back there, and it's got the gold, and we're going to be using the gold side this time as a background to our flowers. You've also got, and I mentioned it, no, actually I don't know when I mentioned it, because this is about the 5th version of this video. You've got a die cut leaf from the die set. Now if you've got a double set of cards, you've still only got one set of the leaves, because you can sort of thinking that you can chop them up and use them rather than wasting all the bits and pieces. You have a tag, which is from the tailored tag die set, which is really one of my favorites at the moment. And you've got extra cardstock for stamping and die cutting, which probably won't be quite as big as this, because there's not that much involved. So anyway, so let's get putting this one together. Fairly simple. I'm going to just basically put the designer series paper onto your card base. This is a landscape card, this one, so you will actually keep your score, or your card score, at the top. It'll open this way. Okay, so there, just put the designer series paper there. Then your extra strip of designer series paper is just going to go straight on top of that with some glue. And start that hard up on the right left-hand side, probably about 1.5 centimetres, maybe 3/4 of an inch from the bottom, and just head it straight out there towards the right. And that's that there. That's probably all we need to do for that little bit there. So we need to do some, we'll keep those things. We need to stamp our sentiment. So again, I'm going to use the thanks stamp. I'm going to make sure I get it around the right way this time. I'm going to put the tag part to the right, to the left, just because I don't want, just going to grab some black ink, excuse me. I don't want particularly to use it as a tag. This is going to be hidden at this end. I just like the dimensions and the stitching on this particular little shape. You can choose to do it that way and have the tag showing out, but I'm actually going to do it with the tag to the left. I'm just going to do it in black ink, stamp it in black ink with our thanks. And I might bring it a bit closer to me, just so I can get over the top of it a little bit, just so I can do it semi-straight. There we are. hopefully semi-straight. There you go. That's not too bad. A little bit lower than should be probably, but that's okay. Okay, so that's stamped really nicely, that thanks. You can tell I've used it a few times. The ink is nice and solid. Okay, so that's our little sentiment there. Okay, so I'm going to stamp some flowers as well. So we're going to grab our spare piece of, our blank piece of cardstock. I'm going to just use our medium bloom this time and our double leaf. So what you're going to do is grab your one each in the Magenta Madness and Polished Pink with our leaves, with our blooms. So Polished Pink, there we go, and another one in Magenta Madness. And then two just full strength of the double leaf in your mint macaron. And then you can either fussy cut them or die cut them. It's completely up to you. Oh, I have to do another one. That one overlapped a bit. There we go. Okay, so you grab your die cutting machine and your dies or your scissors and cut those ones out. And I have already done that, so you don't have to watch me die cut things, and here they are. Okay, so as I say, we've got one flower in Polished Pink, one flower in Magenta Madness, and two leaves in the mint macaron. Okay, so let's bring our card back in and let's get assembling. So first of all, we're going to bring our sentiment in, which we've stamped on that cute little tag. And you just want to pop some dimensionals on there. Keep them sort of, and I've gone against my own advice, I'll get rid of that one. Keep them sort of central, because we are going to want to pop our little decorations in up and under them. So if they're too close to the edge, you might run into problems trying to push the little leaves and things underneath. So bring the sentiment closer to the bottom right hand corner than your strip of cardstock, so it sort of is overlapping a little bit over the edge there. So probably, I think this one's probably, it'd be probably ½ inch, I suppose, top and bottom, and as straight as you can. Okay, so that's there. So that sort of sits there by itself. Then we're going to decorate around it. So we're going to bring our two flowers in. So we might put one, again, you're going to put a dimensional on the back of these because you want them to stick up as well. And keep in mind that part of it is going to cover over your sentiment box. So keep your dimensional away from that, or it won't, it'll stick up too far with dimensional build up. I'll pop another one there. You can put a couple of dimensionals on the back of there if you want. I'm quite happy just with one. So I'm going to put the second one higher up, but then again still overlapping that sentiment box. Here we are. Okay. Then we're going to bring in our leaves, and I'm actually just going to glue the leaves directly to the designer series paper, so I won't bother putting them on dimensionals. You can if you want, but I'm just going to bring them in there and tuck them in behind. So one up there, and one in here. Here we are. If you wanted to stamp some more, you could probably pop some more around, but we are going to bring in our beautiful die cut leaves here. So just cut them. You've got what in the whole set? You've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You've got 8 there. So you probably plan on doing, if you're doing 2 cards, plan on putting, say, 4 leaves for each card. So you can trim off the stems and actually just pop the leaves individually behind. So I'm going to might do 2 and just hide that little bit of leaf behind. I'll do 2 of them up, coming up that way, and then Another one coming in under there, like that. And my spare one, I might put the spare one. This is really up to you. Just trim off those little excess bits, smooth them off. Put another one up under here, just like that. There we are. Yep, I like that. So that one sort of reaches a bit further up, just to give the card a little bit of extra sort of reach. So I'm going to use glue for these. And then it's a matter of remembering where I wanted them. One there. These two guys there. And as you can see, I've said we were pushing these little things up and under. So if you've got too many dimensionals, you'll probably have trouble putting them where you want them to be. And last one. A bit too much glue on him. Surprise, surprise. Okay, so there we are. So we have just the highlight of those extra whites, sort of really lifts the whole design too, which is great. And you've got 4 left over for your second card, so make sure you don't lose that or you'll be in strife. Again, we've got some embellishments. Again, some of you will have the backed sequence, which is how I designed the card originally. Some of you will have rhinestones because of the distribution problems we're having at the moment. But as with the first card, I think the rhinestones were actually quite pretty, because they do stand out a bit more than the sequins. That sequins are so faint, I can't even tell where I've put them. Oh yeah, okay. They just add the bling rather than anything obvious. The sequins, I mean. There we are. Okay, so you can decorate the inside if you like, bring some of the flowers from the outside into the inside. I'll leave that entirely up to you. So there we are. That was a pretty quick one, wasn't it? That's card number 2. I might actually get all 3 done tonight. Who knows, as long as there's no more, oh, I shouldn't even say it, no more disasters this evening, but let's hope not. So I'll tidy up a little bit and come back with card number 3.